loves. Hope you all had a great night. Real quick, I just saw a video about the food critic Keith Lee. You know, he was just in London not too long ago and basically trashed all the British food. And so a lot of folks were like, well, what about the black people? What about black food? What about black culture? And so this gentleman who posted this video, and I'm going to try to stitch him or stitch a comment, I'll try to give him credit. He was explaining about there is no black culture, black food in England. And he's absolutely right. Because most of the blacks that are in England are first, second, and sometimes third generation. And a lot of those folks were there not by way of the slave trade, like we are here in the United States. I'm going to slice that in half and break it down. A lot of the folks that are black folks that are from the Caribbean in particular, and of course there are Africans and sort of the like, but most of the Brits came by way of the Windrush movement back in the 50s, when the United Kingdom asked, begged and pleaded, quite frankly, after the Second World War, that their constituents from the Caribbean, from the islands, they invited them to come and help rebuild London in particular, because it had been bombed, you know, the Nazis bombed the fuck out. So they invited their constituents of the great United Kingdom to come and help rebuild. So a lot of the black folks that are in England now are literally second, third, and many are first generation. The same can be said for the Africans that live in England. They're very new folks, because unlike the United States, where most of the black folks, not all, but most of the black folks that live in the United States are by way of the slave trade. You see, England had slaves. Obviously, they were the leaders of the slaves. England and Portugal were the leading slave traders. They monopolized and got their wealth by slavery. Of course, the United States too, but stay with me. They had their slaves in the Caribbean, okay? They were never in England. So they did not have tentacles, hooks in England. To this day, most white people still don't think that black people are really British. That is the difference. That's why there is no culture. Even as a kid, I remember that all the Caribbean people still consider themselves Jamaican, St. Lucian, or whatever. To this day, they still don't consider themselves British. Unlike here in America, where they've been here a century plus, grafting, building, and making this country great. I hope that sheds some light on it. Love and light. Cheers.